Get out your calculators, please. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through each and every problem of this right now. You should write down the work that needs to be done on this, so then you have it when we take the test, because you get to use this sheet of paper when you take the test. Okay. 4% of the high school students at Washington High School are in math club, 7% are in computer club, 3% are in both. If a student is selected at random, what's the probability that they are in math club or computer club? When it's an or, you do what? Add. So the probability of being in math club is 4%. The probability of being in computer club is the computer club is 7%. So you take 4% plus 7%, but you counted some people twice. Okay, so you have to subtract what? The 3% that you counted twice that are in both. So 4 plus 7 is 11, minus 3 is 8%. And that's that. The table shows buses at one bus stop. How much can you expect a bus to be late? Expect is expected value. Expected value is the probability of one thing times the value of one thing plus the probability of the second thing times the value of the second thing plus ... So the probability, okay, how many days are there in this little chart? 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 1 plus 2. How many days? 20 days. So you have a 4 out of 20 chance of it being 0 minutes late, plus a 3 out of 20 chance of it being 1 minute late, plus a 4 out of 20 chance of it being 2 minutes late, plus a 6 out of 20 chance of it being 3 minutes late, plus a 4 out of 20 chance for it being, a 1 out of 20 chance, a 1 out of 20 chance for it being 4 minutes late, plus a 2 out of 20 chance for it being 5 minutes late. If you do the math and then change it into a decimal, how much time can you expect the bus to be late? Two point what? Or is it 1 point something something? $2.15 minutes. You can expect the bus to be 2.15 minutes late on average. Okay, just got to do the math. 4/20 times 0 is still 0. Plus 3/20 times 1 plus 4/20 times 2 plus 6/20 times 3 plus 1/20 times 4 plus 2/20 times 5. And if you change that into a decimal, it's 2.15. Okay, are we good with that one? You might have pressed something wrong in your calculator, so be more careful when you take the test. What?
I got 2.15.
Oh, I thought you said you got 2.2. All right. In a survey of students, 80% were girls, 20% were boys. Of the students surveyed, 40% of the girls surveyed, 40% were wearing sneakers. If a student surveyed is selected at random, what's the probability that the student is a girl wearing sneakers? So the probability is girl and sneakers. And means to multiply. So the girl is 0.8. The sneakers is 0.4. 0.8 times 0.4 is 0.32, which is 32%. Okay, your calculators need to be ready for this next one. Okay, random sample of voters were asked whether they plan to vote for Doris Brown for mayor. So the male yeses were 246, the male noes were 237, the female yeses were 288, the female noes were 236. So then the totals are on the sides. What's the probability that the person who was surveyed is a man? Okay? So the probability that the person surveyed was a man, how many men are there? 483 out of how many people were surveyed? 1,007. If we round that to 3 decimal places, 0.479, is it? Does that round up to 48%?
Yeah.
So that works. The probability that a person plans to vote for Doris Brown is 54%. Well, to vote for Doris Brown, you have to be a yes out of the total. So if you go 543 yeses out of the total number of voters of 1,007, it's 0. What? 539. Does that round up to 54%? Yes, it does. Given that a person plans to vote for Doris Brown, so given that the person is a yes, what's the probability that the person is a man? Given that they're a yes, what's the probability that they're a man? So of the yes ones, there's 543. A man is 246. What's 246 divided by 543? 0.453. Is that round to 51%? No. So that one we do not circle. Given that a person is a man, so the probability that they're a man, what's the probability that they vote for Doris Brown? So the probability that they're yes. So given that they're a man, what's the probability that they're yes? Well, how many men are there? 483. How many yes men were there? How many males voted yes? 246. What's 246 divided by 483? Point what? 0.509 rounds up to 51%. So that's a yes. Now, are the male yeses the same as the yes males? Are those the same percentages? No. So they are not independent of each other because the percentages aren't the same. So if the males are dependent, what do you think the females are? Those would also be dependent, okay? Because the numbers would not match up. Okay, so we're on to the other side. They are dependent, so it's not, you don't circle any of the last two. All right, number 5. How many different committees with 4 members can be formed out of a group of 8 people? Order is not important. Okay? So is that a combination or a permutation? That is a combination. Order is not important in combination. So it's 8 combination 4. So on your calculator, 8 PRB, arrow over one spot, 4, enter. You hit the PRB button, but then you arrow over to the NCR. You arrow over one spot. That's what I said. So, going back here, it is 70. Those aren't grades. That was attendance, man. Come on. All right. So there's 70 different ways that 8 people can be put on a 4-person committee. Okay? A password for a website must use 5 different digits for numbers. If a password is chosen at random, what's the probability that the password is 76543? Well, how many digits are there in each possibility? 10. So it'd be 10, and then is the order important in a password? Yes. So it's a permutation, and there are 5 different digits. So 10 permutation 5 equals what? 30240. Because there's 10 numbers, 0 through 9, there's 10 numbers. Okay? All right. But it says not how many different possibilities are there. It is what is the probability that it's this. So because it's probability, you have to say that it is 1 over the number. So this is your answer. Make sure I know this is your answer and not this. Okay? So that's the probability one. So that's your answer. So if you need to circle your answer, yes, circle your answer. Okay? You roll a standard number cube 5 times. Assume that each number is equally likely to come up. To the nearest 1/10 of a percent, what's the probability that a number greater than 4 comes out exactly 2 out of 5 times? Okay? So this is a success, not a success one. So it is a what? What's that called? Binomial experiment. It's a binomial experiment. So the first thing you do in a binomial experiment is a combination. What are the 2 numbers surrounding the combination? 5 and 2. Very good. It's 5 combination 2. Okay? Now, 2 is successful. So you have to figure out what's a probability is successful. Well, the probability that a number greater than 4 comes up. How many numbers, when you roll a die, how many numbers greater than 4 are there? 2 out of the 6. So 2 out of the 6. And you take it to the success one, which is the second power, because you want 2 exactly 2 times. So then how many numbers are left over after the 2 out of 6? 4 out of 6. And how many times are you going to be unsuccessful? No. 3, because there's 5 times, 2 times successful, 3 times unsuccessful. That's where the numbers come from. Okay? So you do this on your calculator. 5 combination 2 times 2 6 to the second power times 4 6 to the third power. 0.329 something something something. So it's choice D. Did you get it on your calculator?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you guys should be punching it in on your calculator, making sure you know how to do this on your calculator. Okay, as we go. At a school fair, a student spins a spinner, which is equally likely to land on each of the 4 sections. The spinner shows how many tokens the students win. What is the expected number of tokens a student will win? So this is another expected value problem. So you take the what times the what? Probability times the value. What's the probability they'll hit the win 6 up here? 1 out of 4 times. They'll get a positive 6 tokens. Plus the lose 2. Well, how much area is that? 1 out of 4. That they'll go a negative 2. Plus 1/4 that they will go a positive 6. Plus 1/4 that they will go negative 3. So then do the math. 1/4 times 6 plus 1/4 times negative 2 plus 1/4 times 6 plus 1/4 times negative 3. One and 3/4, right?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that? A teacher wants to select one student at random from a group of 5. The selection methods are which selection methods are fair? If you spinner with 5 equally likely sectors, is that a fair way to select 1 out of 5? Sure is. Select a student whose name is first alphabetically. Zuli would never get selected. So, no. Generate a random number from 1 through 5. Yeah, if you have a computer generated number 1 through 5 and it just spits out a number and you have a number assigned to the kids, yeah, that would work. Okay, so those 2 are ones that would work. Okay, auto accidents and deductibles again. Okay, now, what's a deductible? It's what you pay to the insurance company to have your car fixed, and then they pay for the rest of it. Okay? So, you have a $400 deductible plan. So, on the $400 deductible, how much does that cost you, no matter if you have an accident or not? $374. Plus, there's a probability you might get in an accident. If you get in an accident costing $672, how much would you pay? No. How much would you pay? You would pay your $400 deductible, right? And then the insurance company would pay the rest. Well, there's an 8% chance of that happening. Plus, if you get a $4,729 accident, how much would you pay for that one? $400 times 5%. Do the math.
What does the second one say?
400 times 0.08.
Should you do like the first part? You do 400 minus 374.
No, don't do, this is, so it's $374. $374 plus 4.
26.
So for a $400 deductible, it's going to cost you an average of $426 a year. 374 plus 400 times 0.08 plus 400 times 0.05. You can try it again.
I got 894.
Try it again.
Yeah, well, I got 806. Well, I got 426. Yeah, shut up.
I got 894.
I gotta see what you're doing.
You're not doing the $400.
Yeah, I am. Oh, you have to subtract 400.
No,
494.
no.
Okay. I got it.
Okay, 374
Yep. 374
plus
plus 400
400 times
times 0.8.
0.08.
Oh. Yep, that would make sense.
That would be your issue.
That would make sense. Is the 0.5
Yep. Okay. We got it now. All right, $800 deductible. The $800 deductible only costs $319 a year. Because you have to, when you get in an accident, you have to pay more than what's on the $400 deductible. Now, if you get in an accident costing $672, how much do you pay? Not $800. Why would you pay $800 if the accident only costs $672? You would pay $672. Okay? You would pay $672 because it's lower than your deductible. So why pay the insurance company more than what's being charged for the accident? And then that's 8%. Plus, if you got in that big accident, $4,729 accident, how much would you pay? $800 times 0.05. So how much would it cost you for the lower or the higher deductible insurance? $412.76. So, which option has the least expected cost for 1 year? The $800 deductible. So that's the answer for the first part. What is the cost? $412.76. And there you go. What?
Come here.
Be nice.
Please come here.
Could you come here, please?